Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we thought we'd do a Snapchat Q&A because we haven't done one in a while. So thank you for sending us your questions. Let's help some people.
Often people say that you can eat whatever you want, but realistically, what are your tips for eating sensibly and healthily?
Whole foods, baby.
That's it. High carbohydrate, predominantly. Whole plant foods. Full of fiber, water, nutrients.
Yeah, and when you eat the foods that our bodies are designed to process, then that's when you don't have to worry about, am I eating too much?
Exactly.
The more processed foods you have, the more the body doesn't register those calories the same as when it eats whole plant foods.
So we're talking about fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, greens with some nuts and seeds.
Yep, and you'll naturally reach your satiation so much easier and faster, and you'll naturally switch off. You know, there's only so many potatoes you can eat, there's only so much rice you can eat, and beans you can eat, and fruit and vegetables.
Whole grain rice, of course.
Whole grain rice, exactly.
I was just wondering how you would suggest responding to someone when they give you an argument against veganism that you haven't done much research on, so don't know much about.
Good question.
I'll get back to you on that. Yeah. Look, the thing is, you don't have to be an expert on veganism to speak about it to people.
That's true.
I think you can honestly say, look, hey, I'm no expert. All I know is it's wrong to kill animals when we don't need to. Yeah, and my body feels so much better. And I watched a documentary on the environment, and amazing, it's so much better when we eat plants instead of animals for the planet that we live on. So I don't think you have to have all the answers, but you can say to them, look, that's a really good question. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to research that.
Yeah.
But don't let not having all the answers stop you from saying, but you know, we like to keep it really simple. We do the KISS. Keep it simple, stupid,
yeah.
right? You don't need to kill them. You don't need to eat them. Why would I want to do that? I feel better without it. So bring that person down to the very basic understanding that it's not necessary, and that's it.
Yep.
Hey Albertina, heard you got a date with Alberto today. Oh, Bob, I thought you embarrassed me on Snapchat, okay?
Oh, Albertina, now you're on YouTube as well.
Thanks, mate.
I have a question about honey. I do know some vegans who eat honey, but they would only eat honey from local farms or, you know, not industry where they just hurt the bees and, yeah. So my question is it vegan to consume honey even if it's from a local farm or, you know, somewhere where they don't hurt the bee?
I want you to think about this question and replace the word honey for milk. What would your answer be? If your milk came from a good farm, a local farm, they didn't hurt the cows, would you still have it as a vegan? No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay?
Cows make milk for baby cows. Bees make honey for baby bees.
We have to
We don't want to steal the baby cow's milk. We shouldn't want to steal the baby bee's honey. Simple as that.
We have to stop thinking of honey as a separate, different little category of animal food, that is somehow acceptable and is different to milk, meat and eggs. It's not. It's the same thing. They haven't made that connection. What they're not understanding is it's not just the consumption of something that makes you vegan or not. It's the understanding of our relationship to that animal.
That their products that they make for them are not ours to steal as we see fit.
Yeah, it's a perception, isn't it? A perception.
It's a mindset.
Yes.
Yeah, of perception.
Exactly.
It's an ethical understanding that makes you vegan. Meat equals dairy equals eggs equals honey.
What do you do with people who say that turkey and chicken are so healthy compared to beef and pork?
The old white meat is healthier than red meat argument. As Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, one of the only 2 heart specialists who have ever, what's the word I'm looking for?
Clinically
reversed heart disease, our world's leading cause of death. As he says, it's a difference between whether you want to be shot or hung. Because ultimately they're both going to lead to, you know, potential death because they still contain artery clogging, cholesterol and saturated fat, albeit perhaps less saturated fat than red meat, and also animal protein, which elevates IGF-1 levels, which promotes cancer growth.
Yeah, sometimes you're just not going to win these discussions or arguments with your friends, and you know, you just kind of have to walk away and say, well, I know that that's wrong, and if you don't want to believe that information, then
Well, send them to nutritionfacts.org.
So you guys always seem very productive in your Snapchat stories. So what are your tips for increased productivity?
What are our tips for increased productivity?
Eat enough calories, because calories equal energy, and
Yep.
if you don't have energy, then you can't be productive. So that would be tip number 1.
Lists. We
Yeah.
constantly have lists everywhere, and we write things down, we brainstorm, we get it done, and we cross them off, so we're feeling like we're making progress.
Exactly. We get to bed early. We make sure that we have a minimum of 8 hours sleep. We keep hydrated.
And I think having a routine is very important as well. So we talk about this a lot on Snapchat, and to a lot of people can seem very boring. Oh, you're doing the same thing every day. Well, that's kind of life. Everyone does the same thing roughly every day. But what's your goal? What's that end thing that you're trying to work towards for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year, or you know, for your life, I guess.
Yeah. So let that end goal motivate you to be more productive.
Exactly.
What do you say to diabetics who limit their rice and carb intake, as well as fruits?
Yeah, good one. Obviously, they've bought into the carbophobic propaganda whereby, you know, carbs make you fat and cause diabetes, sugar causes diabetes, fruit causes diabetes, when in actual fact, the complete and utter opposite is true. Science shows that high-fat diets are what causes diabetes, not high-carb diets. High-carb diets are actually what prevent, treat, and reverse type 2 diabetes. So send them to Dr. Neil Barnard. His website is PCRM.org, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And also Dr. Gregor from nutritionfacts.org has some great videos. But you can start by telling them, you know, what I've just said.
I wouldn't even start by telling them that.
Okay.
Sorry. Here you go, we disagree. I would send them straight to Dr. Barnard. You know, that's what he specialises in. That's what his book is called. Just send them straight to the docs. I wouldn't even get into the whole, you know, carbs versus fat cause diabetes. Just send them to the doctors.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you could always say, I too used to think the same thing.
Until I read
Dr.
Dr.
Barnard's.
Barnard's. There you go. So we've come to an agreement.
Guys, I was just wondering what your thoughts are on people who eat lots of animal products but still remain super lean.
You can stay super lean eating McDonald's.
Or nothing but butter.
Yeah.
Calorie restriction does amazing things, as does caffeine
Yep.
and weight loss supplements.
Yeah. You never know what's going
drugs.
on behind the scenes.
Calorie restriction, basically.
Do either of your families still eat animal products?
Yes, our animals, our families all still eat animal products. Not one family member has gone vegan. So
Not even vegetarian.
no, you know, that's interesting. We can have so much influence over complete strangers all around the world. We get messages, so many every single day. Oh, you turned me vegan, it's fantastic. But that vegan couple can't even turn their own families vegan.
Not a single family member.
So, you know, when people say to us, oh, how do I turn my family vegan? Don't ask us. We don't know.
Track record is very poor.
Is palm oil vegan, and what are your thoughts on using this product?
Emily from Bite Size Vegan has a very comprehensive, highly educational video specifically on that question, is palm oil vegan? We highly recommend that you check that out.
In a nutshell, no, it's technical. Well, the product itself is vegan, but the process of how it's produced is not vegan. So,
Hi there, vegan couple. My
Hello.
question for you would be, are you taking B12 vitamins or are you getting that through your nutrition? Thank you.
yeah, we take supplements. Yeah.
Absolutely, we definitely recommend vitamin B12 for everyone, vegans and non-vegans alike.
Yeah.
Hi, Natasha and Luca. First of all, I love your channel. I love that you guys are spreading the vegan message and helping people like Carly Bible and her friend become vegan. My question is, my question is a bit different, and it's relating to how you guys keep, you know, the personal side of your relationship and the business side. Do you keep them together, or are they separate? And I'm not sure how to phrase the next part of my question, but I also want to know whether your answer is together or separate. It doesn't matter, but how do you keep the both relationships like positive and moving forward?
So how do we keep our work life and personal life separate, or is it mixed together? Well, everything happens in the one house, in the one room.
It's not even a house.
It's just, you know,
It's an apartment with one
Yeah.
big open room and then
Yeah.
a separate bedroom and separate ensuite. And
So
that's it.
it kind of merges because
Yeah.
there's no sort of separate workspace. It's everything's, yeah. You want to answer?
Yeah, we're crazy. I mean, we've been living and working together 24/7, 365 for 8 years now in quite small spaces like this one. It is a bit, yeah, it's not for everyone. Let's just say that.
And you see us on Snapchat, we have moments where we just kill each other,
Yeah.
and it's like cabin fever.
Cabin fever, yeah.
And you know, it does get tricky, but we just stay focused on what the end goal is. The end goal is to reach as many people as we can, to save as many animals' lives as possible. So even when we just want to rip each other's heads off, we just keep focused on that and we make it work. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, so many times we're like, before we record or in between recording, or you know, you might want to script something differently to how I want to script something, and we just get through it. I don't know. We keep the big picture in mind, I think, both for professional stuff and for our relationship. We're not going to let YouTube be the end of us, and we're not going to let little shitty fighting in a relationship ruin what can be a really good video to reach lots of people. You're keeping quiet. That's good.
You learn something after 18 years.
Hi, I was wondering what your tips were for people that have acne but are vegan, that already eat a diet of mostly fruits and barely any sodium and very low fat, and have been doing that for over a year, and they also exercise, get enough sleep. My question is, what would your tips be for this? What do you think is still causing the acne? What can I do? Please help me. Also, I love you guys so much. Thank you for inspiring.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a really hard one because it sounds like you're doing all the right things, sticking to whole foods, and you mentioned everything else.
So then you need to start looking outside the box. So I'd be thinking about alcohol. If you're drinking any, eliminate that completely. There are chemicals and preservatives in there that you don't know what kind of response they could be causing within the body. Also, any medication you might be taking.
Are you on the pill?
Yeah. What are you applying to your skin? Any lotions, any makeup? Are you using soap? You know, you've got to consider those type of things.
Yeah, so just go and look through everything, and I don't know if it's also maybe a matter of time. I know you've been doing this for a year, but how long have you had acne before that? Is the body still trying to just get stuff out?
Yeah. Are there any preservatives in any of the foods that you might be eating? You know, like, do you occasionally eat processed food that may contain preservatives?
Yeah.
What about the dipping sauces that you're using? They often have preservatives in them.
Yeah, maybe keep a little food and lifestyle diary to see if there's a pattern of something that you're doing or eating that flares the skin up.
Basically, you need to use a process of elimination to work out what is triggering it.
So, one of my friends just turned vegan and she's having some problems with digestion. Is that normal?
Yeah, it can be normal because if you've been eating one way your entire life and then all of a sudden you switch over and eat a different way, it could just take a little bit of time for the body, the system to get used to that.
Yeah, particularly the gut bacteria needs to change over from the type that's required to try to break down animal products as best as it can, and that's required to break down plant foods. So we've got a video actually on how to stop bloating and digestion, which we'll link in the description box below with our best tips.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We're going to leave it there. We did have so many more questions, but if you get too many questions sent to you on Snapchat, then you can't open them. So we lost a whole heap. Sorry. But if you like this kind of thing where we get to interact with you, do join us on Snapchat because we do try and answer as many questions as we can throughout the day.
Thanks for your questions, guys. Hope we've helped some. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, until next time, that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye, guys.
Yes, this is incredibly frustrating, and when the bullying gets this bad, what we recommend is that people approach their family, sit them down and say, look,